In this month's episode of the Spacetoonz Cinemix, we feature the sights and sounds from Euro cult maestros Goblin, Dario Argento, Stelvio Cipriani, Enzo G. Castellari, and much, much more. Hello again, I'm Jimmie, and welcome to episode 3 of the Spacetoonz Cinemix Video Show, brought to you by Spacetoonz and twoheadeddog.com. Again, a big shout out and thank you to each and every one of you who's been digging the show and spreading the love with your kind words and personal comments. Doing this show has been so gratifying and an absolute blast, being able to share my passion for music and film with like-minded people as yourselves. It's truly a show for those who know, but even better is turning people on to something new. It's comments like, "You made me want to see that movie," or "I know that track but I never knew where it came from," melts my twisted little black heart. So guys, keep it coming and reach out to us at Two Headed Dog Music and at Spacetoonz, both on Twitter and Instagram. So I'd like to kick things off with a film, a theme, and a premonition of sorts that literally led me down the path to find my artistic calling. True story. It was 1977. I was 7 years old. There you go, I gave myself away. And the trailer for this film seemed to be on loop on late night TV. Other than a creepy woman brushing her hair while reciting a familiar poem, or the voice of a terrifying narrator who meant business, it was this little lullaby-like tune that planted itself into my subconscious that would ultimately find me 25 years later. I would run out of the room whenever it came on, and my two older brothers knew how to get me. "It's on again, Jimmie," they would say, while I covered my ears from under the bed. But 25 years later, I never heard it again, or even remember the title. Fast forward to 2002, when I thought I saw everything, until I picked up this Anchor Bay DVD of Dario Argento's Suspiria. Now, as a horror fan, I knew who Dario Argento was, but I've never seen any of his films. I had read that they were hard to watch, hard to follow, and usually cut the shit, leaving out the good parts. But when I finally decided to buy it at my local Borders bookstore, I believe, I was psyched to find out it included the original soundtrack, which I played it in my car all week leading up to that night. I had it on repeat, not at all knowing what it was that seemed to speak to me, especially that main title theme. All I know is something was lifted, and I couldn't wait to watch the film. I was blown away. The style, the colors, the story of witches, and of course, the music. I fucking loved it. Then I dove into the special features and came across that theatrical US trailer, which about turned my face solid white as it all came back. It was as if I found a lost child. That was it. I was hooked, triggering my quest for more as a Dario Argento and Goblin fan. I hope you enjoy my Spacetoonz Cinemix of Suspiria.
impulse had become irresistible. There was only one answer to the fury that tortured him, and so he committed his first act of murder. He had broken the most deep-rooted taboo and found not guilt, not anxiety or fear, but freedom. Every humiliation which stood in his way could be swept aside by this simple act of annihilation. Murder.
To recap, we start off that segment with the theme to 1977's Euro horror masterpiece, Suspiria, by the one and only Dario Argento, performed of course by Goblin. Following that, yet another Argento-Goblin collaboration of sorts, with three-fourths of the original band members coming together for 1982's Tenebrae. The trio had ditched their drummer, Agostina Marangolo, for the mighty Roland TR-808 and Oberheim DMX drum machines, ripe for the 1980s, delivering their electro-break beat stomper, Flashing. Then we ended with another Goblin tune, minus Argento on this one, for Enzo G. Castellari's 1977 Euro crime thriller, The Heroin Busters, with their Italian track title, La Via della Droga, highlighting Marangolo's amazing drum work, reminding us that live drumming is king, especially when it's funky as hell like that. Now speaking of Eurocrime, or as the Italian cult cinephiles like to say, poliziotteschi films, this next segment features more from the dominant subgenre that ruled the Italian cinemas in the late 1960s through the 1970s. As American films like Dirty Harry, The French Connection, and Death Wish were crushing it at the box office, the Italians turn it up a notch, as they often do, upping the violence, upping the political undertones, and of course, upping the production value of music, as composers like Franco Michalizzi, Riz Ortolani, the Angelis brothers, and Stelvio Cipriani gave it their all, elevating even the most average of entries of this golden age of Italian exploitation cinema. Here's a couple of my personal favorites from a few of said maestros in this next segment of the Spacetoonz Cinemix Video Show. Check it out. was that funky or what? That, of course, was one of Mario Bava's final films and only entry in the Eurocrime genre, but a gem at that, 1974's Rabid Dogs, aka Kidnapped, aka Cani Arribbiati. Available from Arrow Video UK for all you all-region owners out there. This release features both versions of the film, but beware of that Kino Classics release, which only features the 1997 re-edited, redubbed, and rescored version, and doesn't include the Cipriani clues you just heard. Also available on vinyl from Spike Rock Records is the original soundtrack. And starting off that set was Guido and Maurizio Della Angelis' Gangster story from the 1975 film Roma VIOLENTA, directed by Marino Giolami, which is in desperate need of a Blu-ray upgrade. Apparently there's an Italian DVD out there, but as you can tell from the grit and the grain, I had to grab this from any means necessary. So come on, Arrow, Grindhouse, Blue Underground, anybody, I'm happy to fork over my money to get a proper Blue. In fact, I have plans to do a Eurocrime Spacetoonz Cinemix in the future, but I really am waiting for more restorations to inspire that commitment. Again, I'd like to close out another episode with a little fun and yet another tease for the upcoming Spacetoonz Cinemix Blu-ray release, Bloody Disco Balls, which I promise is coming soon. In fact, I had this done months ago during Halloween, but with the crazy year we all had, I decided to hold off for better times, in hopes to coincide with an actual release party or a film festival event, which was in the works, but sadly had to be postponed. Nonetheless, things are looking up, and that light at the end of the tunnel is just ahead. I just got the cover art back, and a lenticular box cover is en route, which I cannot wait to share with you all. Until then, enjoy this video from said disc, which is a great example of the sound and the fun that exudes from 80s horror films. Sure, they were cheesy, yes, they were sleazy, but when some of these films just had to include a dance scene or a nightclub sequence to reflect the sign of the times, they really took you there. I hope you enjoy, and stay tuned. Until next time, friends, peace.